Welcome to Unhinged Magi!
Ah, man. Success. Sometimes you have to be stupid and foolish in order to be successful.
Yep.
You gotta be willing to look like a complete moron, don't know what you're doing, and then you be hit it big.
That's right. In this video, we are going to be telling you to humble yourself a little bit. Don't be so prideful. Be ready and willing to look like an idiot.
We know some people that like to look like idiots.
Yep.
Well, I'm one of them.
Yep.
I have no problem with looking stupid.
Yeah.
Or foolish.
Yeah, actually, even just making a YouTube channel, you have to be willing to look like an idiot. Because, honestly, when you put yourself out there on the internet, who knows what the internet's going to think about you? They could see you and just be like, this guy is a complete jerk or a dork, or I don't know. It could be very negative. So you got to be willing to look like an idiot. Like when I opened the
Alpha Lotus, ooh, Alpha Lotus, you should die, nerd. That was fantastic.
People actually, he literally got threatened.
Yes.
Yeah,
by Christian folk, because they had Christian channels.
Oh my gosh, you never told me that. It was Christians that threatened you?
There was a lot of Christians. Well, not all Christians, don't worry. It wasn't all Christians.
Oh my gosh.
It was just really bad. They had YouTube channels devoted to Christ telling me I should die.
These people don't read their own book. Okay, so anyways. So you definitely, we're not kidding about this piece. You really actually have to be willing to look like an idiot to hit some of the best investments ever. And you guys, this is not Magic the Gathering advice. This is life. All topics, all of them. You pick like any asset that just goes exponential, that just exploded, right?
You know what's stupid?
What's stupid?
Electric cars. I mean,
this
company called Tesla.
Oh, who would ever drive a car that's electric?
That's just stupid.
They'd battery probably die in 10 minutes.
They IPO'd it. It's like $14 a share.
No, yeah.
Stupid. No one's gonna buy that car.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. That idea is dumb. Electric cars are never gonna take off.
Never gonna happen.
And what if you actually wanted to buy a lot of stock, but I'm like, oh my gosh, Dan, you're an idiot. Everybody look at my friend Dan. He's an idiot. He wants to buy an electric car. Oh my gosh.
I just bought the stock. I didn't buy the electric car.
So Dan gets embarrassed and he doesn't want to look like an idiot. So he sells the stock. And then guess what? Years later, kaboom! There it goes.
Dang it! I called it.
Does a moonshot. But okay, so here's the thing that we want you guys to get this in your head. Every single big investment that explodes and just goes exponential, if you were the guy, everybody says, I wish I bought Power 9 when they were $50 each. I wish that I bought Bitcoin when it was like $50 a coin. Everybody says that, but here's the thing. If you did, you looked like an idiot during those times because everybody thought it was garbage. In fact, the reason it was cheap is because everybody thought it was garbage.
And you know what? Trash for treasures is not just a card.
Yep.
You're buying trash for now, but maybe it's actually gold.
Now, this doesn't mean that everything that looks like garbage is going to eventually go to the moon. Of course, let's not be stupid about it.
Exactly.
But it does mean that if you want to have grabbed onto the next item in this world that is going to take a moonshot, you have to get nice and warm and cozy and comfortable with the idea that you are going to look like an idiot for a while. People are going to say it's a dumb decision.
Yep.
And then if you picked the right dumb decision, then it starts to take off.
Yep. And you're going to be rich.
Yep.
And you're going to get there.
Yep.
But you have to be willing to hold. That's one of the biggest problems that people don't do.
Yeah.
They don't hold. You have to hold long enough in order to make your dream happen.
Now that actually, how many people watching this channel over the years have the same kind of experience where they bought a bunch of these old Magic cards that we like trade and show and we open and stuff like that, and like, oh yeah, I used to have those cards. Oh, I sold my collection back in 2003 or something like that. Like so many people have those experiences, and maybe a lot of them even made a bunch of money. You know, they bought like all these old cards for one price, they go up a bunch, and then they sell them. And I'm even in that boat. Like I bought all these cards for like $2,000 in college. I sold them for $4,000 at the end of college, and this was like 1996 to like 2000, the year 2000. And I sold them for $4,000, and that collection right now would be like $500,000 easily.
And I lost my box, and then I kicked it across the street of my apartment complex. But I found it again, and that started my channel.
And so, like,
that's not the same story.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I mean, all of us have had those kinds of experiences. So you were just mentioning you got to be willing to hold it, and that's a big piece.
That's hard to do. It really is.
Especially when you got those sweet gains in your hands.
Yeah, exactly. All those people looking at Monarch and dumping it off to Rudy for $200 a box, they're going to regret that decision, I believe.
Seriously. Yeah, I really think so.
That is the worst decision you probably made, but maybe you needed to.
Oh my gosh, did Edwin just say flesh and blood? Okay, yes, I did. Yes, I can be wrong. It could be a mistake, but hey, guess what? I'm okay with many of you looking at me thinking that I'm an idiot. I'm okay with many of you thinking like, oh, Edwin's just sold out to Rudy. Like, actually, no. I played the game. I enjoy the game. Yeah. I see why people actually like the game.
And there's a giant tournament coming up in Las Vegas.
Yeah, and so it is a risk shot, yes, right? It is my opinion that actually could take off. And then those early first edition boxes could literally be like holding like a box of Alpha Magic or something like that at some point. It could literally happen. I could also be wrong. That's a risk call. But you know what? If you're not willing to look like an idiot, then you're not going to capture those gains.
Yeah, and in 1993, there was a stupid game called Magic the Gathering. You know, cards games aren't very successful back then.
Yep.
And so it tanked.
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering didn't happen.
I remember the first Mox I bought was an unlimited Mox Ruby for about like $130. And I lived in Chico, California, and I drove up to Redding to visit my cousins, and they were the ones who showed me Magic the Gathering. And I couldn't find a Mox. Like, I knew I wanted to buy one right after I got into the game, but there weren't any for sale. And when I went to Redding, they took me to a card store that they had in Redding, and I finally saw my first Mox in person there inside the case for like $130. It wasn't even like mint or anything, but like that was the first one I saw. And so I bought it, and even my cousins who both played Magic thought I was nuts picking up a Mox for $130 when they're like, my gosh, dude, like, I can't believe you spent $130 on that. You could have bought like
stupid card
on like one card. You could have got like 2 full booster boxes of other cards, and you just bought this one card, right?
Exactly.
So I looked like an idiot, right? Absolutely.
Exactly. And that's the fantastic part, because later on, if you were right, then you can come back and say, see this? This is worth this.
Yeah. And I actually have the other side of the coin there with Bitcoin. Like, I actually started buying Bitcoin when it was around $120 a coin. Yeah. And like, I speak negatively about cryptocurrency, so people think I'm super bearish on it. And that's actually, people really don't understand my opinion on it. So I actually...
But we're not going down that road.
Yeah, we're not going down that road. I'm just saying that like, I bought it for $120 per coin. I started buying into cryptos. And then they started exploding. I was even mining Litecoin when they were like $13 a Litecoin. And I mined like 30 some Litecoins just using graphics cards in my computer. And I even was buying Ethereum when it was like $70 per coin on Ethereum.
Holy crap. Really?
So like, yeah, I was,
that one.
Yeah, I've been into all these cryptos like when they were all low. And so I bought all of them, and they started to go up in price, and I sold them, and I made good profits on it and stuff like that. But very clearly, I sold way too early. Clearly,
that's also
right?
Another problem, because it's okay. So one thing is for certain: there is no real way to tell when to sell. Like, even if you have Tesla stock, and I had Tesla stock, I had a ton of it. All right, but as soon as mine doubled, I dumped it at $34 a share. The next day, $123.
Yeah.
The very next day after I sold.
Yep.
And so I can't go back in time and say, "Can I undo that?"
You know, I think maybe one of the only really solid ways to play this kind of thing and really like cover all your bases is to get a decent amount into something you really believe in. If it rises a bunch, get your original money back out, maybe plus a little bit of profit, and then like take the rest of it and like let it ride. Because then it's like, even if you lost all of it, you can be like, well, it was a fun ride and I got my money back out of it at the very least, so I didn't get completely hosed.
Really screwed myself on that. But this was early in the day. This was way back, you know, so it's not like this is like something happened like recently.
Yeah, so if I could go back and talk to myself, what I would have said is, even at the end of college when I was wanting to sell like a lot of those Magic cards, I would have said, you know, keep some. Or the cryptocurrencies. I would have said, like, cover your loss, like your initial investment, and keep some. So I'm learning from my own mistake. And when I go into new investments these days, things that are collectibles that I think could blow up, even if, like, okay, right now I've got some first edition Flesh and Blood. I don't have a lot. I've got some. But if it takes off and explodes, I'll sell some, but I'm not going to sell it all. Right?
Exactly.
Definitely not.
You know it's going to be something huge later on.
I do think so, actually. And I'm willing for people to think I'm an idiot.
Yeah, that's fine. Because everybody's stupid. That's been my personal opinion in life, that everybody is stupid. You know why? Because everybody doesn't know everything. I have no idea of anything about medical stuff, and I know a lot of people who've never studied medical stuff don't know anything about medical stuff, and some medical people don't know about Magic the Gathering. They don't, and then I know some physicists that never even heard of, I don't know, whatever surgeries people do. And a lot of people don't know programming and all that kind of stuff. So in my personal opinion, every single person on the planet is stupid about something.
Sure.
So there you go.
Sure, I guess that's valid. So anyways,
valid. It's 100%.
The big key takeaway is that I want you guys to leave this video with.
Well, except for Edwin. Edwin knows everything.
No, I do not, and I never made that claim. If you want to have the chance, even the chance, to catch the next time lightning gets trapped in a bottle, to catch onto that and ride that wave up, you have to, as a requirement, you have to be willing to look like an idiot for a while, buying the very thing that everybody thinks is terrible, if you're going to get those amazing gains. Because if the rest of everybody didn't think that thing was stupid, if they didn't have such a negative opinion about it, it wouldn't be at such a low value.
Right.
It's at a low value because they think it's stupid.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have to determine which one is a FOMO and which one is not.
Yep, that's
so
the trick.
You also have to be willing to take the hit in the face, right?
And do the research to, because
exactly.
I mean, you got to pick good things that are actually going to go up. So do your research.
It's hard. It's hard because there's a lot of new things out there. I mean, we have MetaZoo, we have Flesh and Blood. I mean, there's a lot of different wheels turning.
Yep.
You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, like I don't know anything about MetaZoo, so I haven't really hardly bought anything on it. Yeah. But like I've actually played Flesh and Blood. I think it's a fun game, and so I'm now like I can see why that would take off.
Yes, and I always thought Innistrad was actually a good game too. The vampire card game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But that didn't take off.
No. Okay, so there you go, guys. Genius idiot cycle.
That's right.
We've talked about it in the past. Here it is again, reminding you guys.
Take your chances.
Yeah, there are times you got to.
Yeah, especially if it's cheap.
Yep.
Get in cheap, get out high. Right.
Okay, yeah, we'll just end there. Okay, bye, guys.